Don't hate me after watching this video. I will be sharing something that will actually bring you into the reality of what social media is doing to your brain. And some of you will be grateful for this information, while others of you will resent me for uncovering the truth behind your favorite pastime. I've weighed the risk of sharing what I've learned, and I think it'll just be for your benefit overall if I do share this information. So let's get started. Social media apps have been made to intentionally keep the user addicted, meaning that the makers of these apps have done their research with how the brain works and have managed to create a society that, whether they will admit it or not, are chained to their phones. They intentionally created these apps where you find yourself scrolling on your phone way too long to be equivalent to using a slot machine. And just like a slot machine, where a reward could be fast approaching, you don't know what you'll get when searching on these apps. Or you don't know how many likes you'll receive from a post you've shared. This is an unpredictable outcome that keeps the brain hooked, and it is intentional. Not only can these apps and the use of our phones all the time because of these apps become very addictive, but they have been proven through research to be an agitator of those who have pre-existing mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety. Using your phone too much can even be the source of developing a personal struggle emotionally and mentally. So if you feel depressed, all of a sudden, it could very well be linked to how you are using your phone too often and social media apps. Just a quick research on the internet will show how social media can also cause loneliness, physical ailments, FOMO, disrupt sleep, isolation, self-absorption, suicidal thoughts, feelings of inadequacy, and being discontent with your life. If you find yourself on your phone for hours at a time and constantly checking your notifications, this activity exposes your brain to a whole ton of stimulation, and over time can actually change the brain, but not in a good way. What takes place is the decreasing of our ability to actually focus, shortening our attention span, and actually shrinking our prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain used for us to focus, concentrate, and be able to problem solve. It's for real making our brains dumber, and that is scary. What put me on this trajectory of trying to understand what social media is doing to our brains and mental health was waking up to the huge negative impact it was having on me. So I do a lot of posting on several social media apps throughout the week, almost on a daily basis. And I was finding myself becoming more and more addicted to reaching for my phone and just begin scrolling. Whenever I would have the opportunity to go on a vacation with my husband, I tried very hard to use that time away to also take a break from my phone. I learned that the first day away from it felt like I was detoxing. I would feel anxious and a bit irritated that I had set this rule of no phone use for myself. But then a few days later, I would feel a sense of freedom. And after this last vacation, I really wanted to explore what I was feeling free from. So I began my research. I had always heard that constant scrolling on our phones was not good for us, specifically our brains, but I did not connect how my posting on social media, as often as I was, even though it was for my ministry, was causing me to have anxiety. And a lot of this anxiety was coming from subconscious fears I was unaware of. What my research revealed, besides what I've already shared with you, is that social media use can become a way to constantly seek validation from your peers and those that follow you. Comparison can also take place as you see one friend liking someone else's post, but ignoring yours, or comparing how many likes and shares someone has with what you have with your own posts. Pressure can build within us when other people don't see your likes or your interactions with their posts, causing unforeseen friction in these friendships and feeling like you're in high school all over again. Yeah, social media feels like high school sometimes. Social media can be a form of manipulating and hurting relationships. You realize you weren't invited to an event, but others you know and who you normally hang out with, for some reason, didn't invite you. Then a picture on social media of the event that you were not invited to comes before your eyes, and this can create hurt feelings within you, and you feel very left out. I get it. I've been there. Marriage relationships have been impacted negatively by social media use. If one spouse is more attentive to their phone because of social media, the other spouse can feel a disconnect and this can cause conflict. Others have admitted that use of social media brought on temptations that easily led them away from being loyal to their partner. And then there is the not being present issue, which I truly didn't grasp until I realized how much my phone use was pulling me away from just enjoying my surroundings, my relationships, my pets, things I love to do outside of work, and just sitting still. I came to the understanding that I was able to relate to every single thing that I researched on the negative impacts of social media. And I realized why it felt so good to stay off it from time to time. And this pushed me to make some hard decisions with my own personal use of social media. Some of us have fallen into the negative loop of picking up our phones to scroll because we feel sad or lonely or bored, to only discover that our social media use creates more negative emotions for us instead of relieving us of our current state. In other words, we are worse off than when we weren't looking at our phones. And this then feeds into that negative loop of wanting to stay on our phones more, seeking out those dopamine hits so we can feel better. And others are using their phones to avoid issues that they are suppressing, a way to distract themselves from what's going on within them. We have to get to a place of dealing with what's going on within us, dealing with our issues, our emotional pain, and looking at your phone doesn't resolve anything. Social media truly robs us from living our lives. It robs us of intentional, healthy, and in-person relationships. It robs us of so much time. It robs us of enjoying hobbies we've left sitting on our closet floor. It robs us of being able to be more creative, more productive, more focused, and able to think through problems we need to fix. It robs us of that book that we were supposed to be working on, or that novel we'd love to read. It robs us of our mental health and energy, and in turn, gives us only unpredictable rewards that leave us happy for a moment. Cal Newport explains how social media apps are the fast food of our media consumption. They are just for entertainment, and they are not a healthy source of media that we should constantly be giving our attention to. So we need to be wise in what we choose to consume. He also says, your world is what you pay attention to. Okay. With social media's addictive nature, designed to activate our brain's reward system with the release of dopamine every time we see a like, a share, a comment, high views, or something entertaining, and even keyboard warriors get a hit of dopamine when they see they've gotten under our skin. We have to treat stopping our social media use as if we're stopping an addiction, because that is what it is. And in doing this, we need to choose healthy habits to replace picking up our phone all of the time. I've re-engaged with some lost hobbies and am choosing to put my focus on those instead of scrolling my phone. I also am creating a new healthy habit of leaving my phone in one place in my home as I go about my day and make an effort to not go and check it all the time. I'm being intentional to read a book at night before bed instead of looking at my phone. I've removed the more addicting apps from my phone, and with my ministry, I've developed a simple plan to post once a week via my laptop rather than posting on those addicting apps each day of the work week. I'm seeing the benefits of these small yet powerful changes. My brain is finding other ways to get healthy dopamine rather than telling me to reach for my phone. I also am able to focus better with my work, with relationships around me, and be more present in my life overall. I am simply a whole lot happier and honestly feel more human.